watching Germantown Municipal Television, your source for everything Germantown.
Welcome to the December episode of Healthy Germantown TV. I'm your host, Will Kassner. We are knee-deep in the holiday season, so we wanted to give you some tips and tricks to stay healthy this season and leave the milk and cookies for old St. Nick. We're going to be sitting down with Trey Jordan, President and CEO of Holiday Ham, and discussing healthy eating options during the holidays. Lastly, we're going to hit the gym with Phil Rogers, Director of Germantown Athletic Club, as he offers some ways to kickstart those New Year's resolutions. But first, we have Beth Wickliffe, a registered and licensed dietitian nutritionist, here with us now. Beth, thanks for stopping by.
Sure, glad to be here.
So tell us a little bit about what you do.
Okay, well, I'm a registered licensed dietitian, and so I see patients privately. I'm a consultant. I also work with dialysis patients in Western Tennessee and in the Memphis area. I also am a healthy lifestyle coach for the Center for Disease Control's Diabetes Prevention Program. I also work with, I think I already said cardiac rehab at Methodist, and I work with healthy lifestyle clinics at Le Bonheur. So I just do various things around town as a consultant.
And so how long have you been doing this?
I've been doing this for over 30 years.
Okay, that's awesome. And so as we get ready to go into the holiday season, how can we prepare ourselves to enter this time, I guess that we could call a feeding frenzy?
Yes, good point. I think it's really worthwhile to take a moment to think about what is your goal for the post-holidays. Mm-hmm. Do you want to feel healthy? Do you want to feel energized? Do you want to feel a start to a good new year? Do you want to control symptoms of chronic disease that you may be suffering with? So I think it's good to give it thought. I also want to introduce you, if you're not familiar, to a book called The Blue Zones. This is a book that details a study done by National Geographic, and it looks around the world at cultures who live the longest, the healthiest, without disease. And so this is a New York Times bestseller. It's pretty new. You can find it in all stores, Walmart, Target, online. But interestingly enough, of the 5 cultures around the world, we have 1 in the United States. All 5 cultures, however, consider themselves to be healthy as a result of a healthy lifestyle, including a vegan diet with no meat, no animal products, no animals whatsoever. And they eat beans at least daily, if not more. And dried beans as well. I just had canned beans at home. So before we panic, because most of us do eat some kind of animal foods, but I do want to share that fact with you to help you plan and consider how you're going to navigate the holidays. I also want to throw out the fact that because these cultures are so healthy, we all have genetic predisposition to certain disorders that might show up in our lives at some point. When our genes express themselves, we call that epigenetics. But with a healthy lifestyle, you can actually suppress those genes from expressing themselves, so therefore you're preventing disease, and in some cases you're reversing disease.
Wow.
So I want to think about that as we go into the holidays.
Yeah, and I guess a lot of times when food is just so good, we're not really thinking about what are the consequences of the things that we're eating.
Perfect.
And
exactly.
So with going into the holiday season, what are some tips that you could offer us to make good choices with our eating styles and habits?
Good. First thing I think is just to have a plan, to have a start and a stopping point. Sometimes holidays run from Halloween to Valentine's, and that's not really wise because that gets really out of control. So I think it's to plan for those celebratory days, whether they're parties at work, whether it's functions with the family. Just have those days, start and stop times, and even your meal times. Have a time when you're going to start the meal, fix your plate, consume the meal, and then have an ending time. So we have some boundaries there. In addition, I want to point out a few savvy shopping tips and smart substitution tips. So everything here I grabbed out of my pantry, my garden, or my refrigerator. So it's just real to me. And represented here is pretty much every store that you can find in Germantown. So you don't necessarily have to go to one store. Okay. They're good choices.
This is everywhere.
That's everywhere around Germantown in the greater Memphis area. So first off, I want to say that hydration is so important. We all know that. You should drink half of your body weight in ounces of water daily to help your moods, to help your digestion, to help everything in your body function well. I also want to point out the beverages here on the front, that oftentimes during the holidays, sugary beverages are on the menu and can create 20, 30, 40% of our calorie intake, our sugar intake. So caution, red flag, be careful, plan ahead. So I've recommended that we use some sugar-free type beverages throughout the holidays. And if you're going to have cocktails, which involve alcohol, you can certainly have mixers that are lower sugar, like the one I'm showing you here. On the front there, we have the Zevia product, we have the powder True Lime, we have a drop up there, an Alive drop, and all of these are sweetened with a natural sweetener versus a chemical sweetener, and there's less processed ingredients. So those would be good choices. Now moving to the front of the table here, I've got some natural sugar substitutes that you may or may not be familiar with. You see the stevia in individual packets and bulk powders. You see the flavored stevia. You see the monk fruit, M-O-N-K, again, 0 calories, 0 sugar, minimal processed chemicals. In the front middle here, we have herbs and spices. We cannot overlook them. They are vegetables, plants, foods. They have tons of health properties. They're not just for flavor. They help with inflammation, they help with cleansing our organs, they help have antioxidants, and they also, in some cases, are natural antibiotics. So they're nature's medicine cabinet. Also, when we come to the plethora of fruits, vegetables, all the colors represent different nutrients. I want to point out frozen vegetables are actually a wonderful value, and also are generally picked very ripe and flash frozen, so they're very nutrient dense. Also, root tubers. You may not be as familiar with root tubers. They're an excellent unprocessed plant. So this would be a parsnip. We have, this is a rutabaga. We have, what's not shown here would be turnips, beets. So you take the plant, you maybe take the skin off, roast it, and it's delicious, no processing. Then we have our beautiful acorn squashes and winter squashes and pumpkin, that's so wonderful for the season. Also, I want to point out healthy fats. We really want to encourage those omega-3s. Most processed foods have soy and other processed oils as their source. So we want to be really sure that we're focusing and intentional about getting these omega-3s in here, which most of these represent here on the front section. And even with the spreads, there are spreads that are made with these oils that are represented. So you want to be careful in reading your labels. And something that you might not be familiar with is bone broth. And this is an organic bone broth. So when you're making your stuffing, as we say in the South, and as you're making your casseroles, to forego the high-fat dairy products and the canned cream soups, and you can at least leave some of those out. You can substitute with some of the bone broth, which is very high in amino acids, and also the glucosamine and chondroitin for joints and connective tissue. So all of these things could be wonderful substitutes. Even if you maybe forego one family tradition, let one meal go and try something new here.
Try to work in the healthy stuff.
Try just new things. And so what I haven't mentioned is if you're going to include meat in your meal, which most of us are, you can get even meats that tend to have less additives. So we want to look for minimally processed, maybe MSG-free, nitrate-free, in some cases hormone-free. Yeah, I think that was it. And also, again, reinforcing that the cultures that live the longest around the world are eating a lot of beans as one of their major protein sources.
So the more beans, the better.
That's right.
Sounds good. Well, thanks for coming by today. Really enjoyed talking to you, and thanks for the tips on how to work in healthy options in our holiday meals. We've got to take a short break. When we come back, we'll meet with Phil Rogers, director of the Germantown Athletic Club.
You make me wear my bike helmet. Taught me never to run with scissors. And to follow the swimming rules.
You tell me to stay away from drugs.
To always buckle my seatbelt.
So why do you keep a loaded gun in your drawer?
How safe is that?
You asked them to follow some safety rules. Now they're asking you. In fact, they're counting on you. Never let your gun get into the wrong hands. Remember, always lock it up. Visit ncpc.org.
Looks like it's done.
Don't let salmonella get funky with your chicken. On average, 1 in 6 Americans will get a foodborne illness this year. You can't see these microbes, but they might be there. So learn the right temperature to cook each type of meat. Keep your family safe at foodsafety.gov.
You are watching Germantown Municipal Television, your source for everything Germantown.
Welcome back to Healthy Germantown TV. We're here at the world-famous Germantown Athletic Club with our good friend, Phil Rogers. Phil, thanks for letting us hang out today.
Thank you.
So we've entered into the time where we are looking out on the horizon of New Year's resolutions. We kind of want to get a head start on the New Year's resolution mentality. So as the director of the athletic club, what are some things that you guys do to really help push people towards kind of restarting a healthy lifestyle?
Well, there's no better time than starting New Year's resolutions before New Year's.
Exactly.
Because everybody else is going to start them in January. So if you can get that head start, I think that's going to behoove you, and it's going to help you maintain that consistency once the new year starts and once you're in that habit. Mm-hmm. So if you can start now, it's a great time to come into the Germantown Athletic Club, to come see us, to come check out all the different things that we have, all the numerous classes and the pool, and everything that we've got to offer, including some of our new classes, the body pump, the Les Mills classes, the body flow, and the RPM that we've just launched over the past couple months, which are huge classes that we're having. The members are really loving it. But if you can come join now, this is the best time. It's going to get you started into that New Year's resolution even before. It's kind of going to get that habit started. So that way, when the New Year's rush hits, you're already in that habit. You're not going to be so inclined to hopefully, maybe not see us in March or April.
So the key is start early.
The key is, there's no there's no wrong time to start or no right time to start. The key is going to be finding a time that's good for you, finding something that works for you, finding a time of day that works for you. We've got a great nursery here, so childcare is always an option if you do have that. So find something that works for you, find a time that works for you, find some classes, find a partner, maybe find a trainer. Whatever you can do that's going to help keep you accountable to that. But there's no better time than any else. I don't know why necessarily some people start New Year's versus in July or January or August, but New Year's is obviously a very busy time of year. But I encourage people to start whenever they can and not hold off and not wait until New Year's and start that resolution.
Yeah, so when you look at the New Year's kind of increase in gym membership and things like that, what are some things that make the athletic club stand out or different from, say, your average Joe's gym?
So the one thing that I always tell staff and I always tell members is our water's just as wet and our weights are just as heavy as every other club in town, whether that's Lifetime Fitness or whether that's the YMCA. Hopefully what sets us apart is our great class offerings, our great customer service, our facilities, and everything else that makes us who we are. We've obviously spent several, almost $4 or $5 million worth of renovations over the past few years and still have some more to go when it comes to bringing the facility up to speed. But we have, about 85 to 100 pieces of cardio equipment. We have 45 spin bikes in our spin class. We have the largest group fitness studios in the city. And then, our pool is definitely one it's one of the largest in the city as well. So we're very proud of what we have to offer. We definitely think we have a lot to offer for the many different people that come. And we want to make sure that we're here for everybody that wants to. Germantown residents and non-residents alike.
Yeah, everybody's welcome.
Everybody's welcome.
Sounds good. So as the club director, what are some things that you do personally to meet fitness goals or healthy lifestyle standards?
So, you mean talking about me?
Yeah.
All right.
What's your secret?
I don't know that I have a secret. What I try to do is I try to, maintain some consistency. Unfortunately, I don't get to work out as much as I would love to be able to work out anymore. Unfortunately, I sit behind a desk most of the time. But my background and how I started was in the personal training and a strength coach. So it's definitely within my blood. I love to exercise. I love to work out. I don't get to, like I said, as much as I used to, but I try to go for 3 days a week. I try to get into at least 30 to 45 minutes of weight training with some keeping it higher intense to try to keep my heart rate up and help that with that cardio, because I hate doing cardio inside. I'm just a guy that can't walk on a treadmill. You're never going to see me running on a treadmill inside for longer than a mile just because I can't physically do it.
Yeah.
I mentally there's a block there. So I like to do some running outside. I like to do some different things. I like to keep my heart rate up while I'm doing some strength training. But I try to do 3 times a week. And if I can continue to like a Monday, Wednesday, Friday,
You're good. Good deal. So as we enter into the winter months, it's darker earlier and it's cold and it's harder to do those outdoor runs like you talked about. Are there ways that you kind of push indoor workouts during the winter
Well, we
months?
definitely have, a wide array of classes and a lot of different things that we have that are in the light. So you come on inside, we've got everything from, boot camp classes to yoga classes to spin classes to, a host of just different dance classes and weight training classes. Body pump's a huge class that we have that we just launched a couple months ago. And that's meeting rave reviews with the members. So there's lots of different ways to come inside, get out of the cold. It might be a little different. I know a lot of people in Germantown love to bike, and Germantown's a great biking community. It's a little chilly right now to be riding that bike, especially, maybe being dangerous when it's starting to get dark at 4:30, 5 o'clock. Come on in, we've got those spin bikes here. We've got 45. We will have the spin classes throughout the week and throughout the day. So definitely take advantage of all the different things that we have, especially in the summertime. I know Germantown, has a large number of triathletes in the area as well, and we carry a lot of them when it comes to the swimming and the lap swimming that we do here.
Very interesting. So last but not least, are there any new classes that you're looking to offer next year? I know you talked about body pump and some things that you're rolling out now. Do you have anything on the radar for 2018?
We're always looking for new and exciting stuff. Not only the trends, but also the stuff that's sustainable. We're not looking at the kind of the things that are out there like the shake weight or the Bowflex or anything like that. But there's lots of new stuff that's always coming through. One of the things that we're striving to do is maintain with the competition, make sure that we're keeping up with the offerings that are out there, that the other clubs are doing, but also keeping up with what the members want, for sure.
Yeah, well, that's awesome. So is anything you would like to say to the viewers as far as New Year's resolutions or just working out at the club? Any last bit of advice that you would give?
A habit takes about 8 weeks to get started. So, once we get into that routine, the biggest thing that I would say is most people try to go gung-ho. They try to really go at it hard and try to, make sure that they're losing those extra weight. And it really is hard to kind of hit it as hard as they might want to. I would say go in slow. Know that a pound of weight loss is still a pound of weight loss. It might not be what you want immediately. It might not be as quickly as you want it. But just take it slow, take it easy, make sure it's sustainable. Try to keep that habit for 8 weeks, and if you can maintain that, there's a more likelihood that you're going to be successful.
Sounds good. Well, we look forward to seeing you before January.
I hope so.
All right. Well, when we come back, we'll meet with Trey Jordan, owner of Holiday Ham here in Germantown.
Here's to the things that can keep us safe. Those we use all the time with hardly a thought. Those that are silently standing by to save our lives. And now, those that we carry with us everywhere we go. Many mobile devices will now bring you wireless emergency alerts, real-time information directly from local sources you know and trust. With the unique sound and vibration, you'll be in the know wherever you are.
It's a short ride from your neighborhood to your naturehood. To find a neighborhood park or green space near you, visit discovertheforest.org.
You are watching Germantown Municipal Television, your source for everything Germantown.
Welcome back to Healthy Germantown. Joining us now is President and CEO of Holiday Deli and Ham, as well as Pimento's Kitchen and Market. Trey, thanks for being with us here today.
You bet. And I think I probably show the before picture of healthy rather than the after picture.
Hey, that's all right. So tell us a little bit about what brought you here to Germantown, what got you in the restaurant business?
Yeah, wow. In the restaurant business, to start with, is I just wanted to be in business with my father. My dad and I are great friends, and I was in commercial real estate. He was in the restaurant business, although he was in a much less healthy in the maybe the burger segment, fast food. And we decided we wanted to create something together that was more family friendly and healthy. And so we started the Holiday Deli and Ham Company in 1999.
Yeah.
Really 93. We moved to Germantown in 1999. So and we've had a great run in Germantown. So it's been great.
Well, good. So tell us a little bit about what makes Holiday Ham unique.
Okay. Well, we really started off as a competitor to Honey Baked, and so, you know, this time of year is crazy busy for us. We're selling the spiral sliced hams and the honey glazed turkey breast and the casseroles and cornbread dressing. And I tell people that 40% of my business walks out the front door, because it's walking out in the form of catering, or it's walking out in the form of people grabbing hams and turkeys. So that's really unique for a restaurant. Most people don't have that much going out the front door.
Right.
But then we also decided to create this, as I call it, the non-alcoholic cheers. And if you come to the Germantown restaurant almost any morning, you're going to see a host of old Germantown guys. In fact, our mayor comes in there a good bit. I love seeing Mike in there. But a lot of the folks that are just native Germantown folks come in there just to eat and relax. So we did start breakfast about, I guess, 5 years into our operation, and breakfast has been fantastic. And then we also do the soups, salads, and sandwiches at lunchtime. So that's a little bit about us, but all of our sandwiches are unique. You'll see some of them named after our family members, some of them named after a dog. So we do just all kinds of funny things.
Yeah, just fun. Now, I have been there for breakfast a lot, and it is awesome. I will say that. Now, tell us a little bit about how you guys cater to the holiday season. What are some things that you do during this time of year?
Yeah, so probably the first thing is this time of year, our corporate customers are wearing us out in a good way. The phone's ringing, we're delivering food. We can deliver food anywhere in the city of Germantown, but also beyond. So we'll be delivering everywhere. We've got catering guides that everybody's looking at. But they're also not only doing the traditional catering, which is the sandwich trays and the salad trays and all that kind of stuff, they're also having Christmas meals delivered to their places of business, because you want to have a Christmas event at work before you go home and have your Christmas event there.
Yeah.
So that's a big part of it. And then also, as we're ramping up for the holidays, boy, we are making sure we're in everybody's homes. We're delivering food literally to people's homes for their Christmas parties as well. And so the phone is ringing, I'll tell you that.
I bet. I will shamelessly say we've had a couple of Thanksgiving that were 80% catered by you guys. So
well, listen,
good stuff.
You get out of the kitchen and let us do the cooking. So, you know, I'm not telling anybody if you don't tell anybody.
That'll work.
Yeah.
So what are some ways that you steer people towards healthy eating during this season, when you generally kind of pick up the amount of food that you are taking down?
Yeah, so that's challenging. But I tell you, because people love some of our awesome food, but we do on our website do a Weight Watchers on our website. If you go to holidaydeli.com, you can also see our nutritional values there. You can also see a gluten-free menu. So if you have some things that you're kind of, you know, you want to watch what you're eating, I'd suggest you go to holidaydeli.com. Obviously, our salads. I mean, our salads are great. You know, they're all healthy. We're making our own dressings there. A lot of the dressings have some sugar in it, so you probably want to bypass some of the dressings that we have and maybe go for a balsamic vinegar dressing, something like that, or maybe bring oil and vinegar yourself. And then obviously our turkey. Our turkey is always a good choice. We can make any sandwich without bread. So if you want a sandwich without bread, obviously that gets rid of some of those carbs that you don't want this time of year.
Yeah, so healthy options are there.
Yeah, they are there.
Now, you have a newer restaurant.
Right.
Tell us a little bit about Pimentos.
Yeah, Pimentos Kitchen and Market. So we call it the 2.0 version of Holiday Deli. While they're radically different, there's some similarities. So the radical difference is we are actually cooking everything. It's a scratch kitchen, so everything in the back of the house is being made for that day's lunch or that day's dinner. We still have our great sandwiches. We still have our great salads. But on some of our salads, we've added shrimp. So you can get shrimp and actually put it on any salad you want. We'll do a grilled shrimp. We also have salmon. It's one of my favorites. Put salmon on any of the salads you want. It's prepared that fresh. Right when you ask for the salmon, we're cooking it. We could also have great burgers, though. Well, while that doesn't lead us to the healthy, it might lead you to healthy later.
Yep.
But the pimento cheese bacon burger is absolutely incredible.
Sounds
it's on
awesome.
a sweet sourdough bread. It's a ½ pound of meat. It's incredibly big. We do smoked wings. This time of year, we're also getting a lot of calls for smoked wings from there because we don't have those at Holiday. For bowl game events. And so we can do that, but we do it in the store as well. We have a new thing that I love, which is a pimento cheese crab dip.
Sounds amazing.
So you can get it cold. We serve it hot in the store, but you can take it home with you for a party or whatever. So there's a lot of uniqueness to that restaurant compared to the other one. I will say about our pizza, maybe I shouldn't have even called it a pizza, but I did. It's probably really a melt.
Yeah.
It's on a thin cracker bread. It's a thin lavash cracker bread with Havarti cheese, and we have one with shrimp on it. We have one with salmon on it. So we do some of the healthier things. It is probably about 50% the calories of a regular pizza.
A normal pizza.
Yeah.
Man, so you have just a ton going on.
Oh yeah, yeah. We got a lot going on.
And we've got a lot of food to try.
That's right.
Well, thanks for coming by today.
You bet.
We enjoyed talking to you. Look forward to spending some time at Holiday Ham and Pimento's Kitchen.
I look forward to seeing you.
That's all the time we have on this edition of Healthy Germantown. I'd like to thank my guests for being here on the show and you, the viewers, for watching. If you'd like more information about this or any other show on Germantown Municipal Television, visit www.gmtvonline.org. We'll see you next month. Happy holidays, Merry Christmas, and stay healthy, G-Town.